Hail, Internet! It's Paul. It's Matt. Amber will be back with us next week. Today we are talking about Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 4, The Spoils of War. That was good TV.
Sure.
I'm just going to say it. They took some time on that one. And spent some cash.
Yes.
A lot of stuntmen got a paycheck.
Yes. Indeed.
So what are your initial thoughts right off?
Warm underwear, probably.
Yeah.
My initial thoughts were, this is the type of episode that everybody's like, yay, like they wish it happens all the time, which makes me like, yeah, it's nice to see dragons and everything. I mean, I was happy with the other scenes too, so.
Right. If it was literally 100% battle scenes, that would get
way tired,
wearing real fast. So it's great that you have these things, and then you care about people. In this case, one of the things that made it, obviously, technically, the choreography was amazing on the battle scene, but what made it even more gripping was the fact that you had two people you care about on each side.
Yes.
Right? You have Daenerys on the one side, and then you have Jaime.
Yeah.
People like Jaime.
And Bran.
And Bran. Bran's on it, and it's like...
And
Tyrion's watching on the side.
Drogon,
Sure, we like Drogon. Yeah. I like his Drogon's monologue when he laments having to kill so many people on command. And then Tyrion standing on the hillside.
He gets an owie.
He gets an owie. The sound he makes when he gets shot. I was wondering, like, man, the Foley effect for Dragon in Pain. That was an interesting one. It sounded good. But yeah, and then Tyrion watching, his... I don't know his kinsman necessarily, but his house.
Oh, his brother.
His brother lived. We think.
But he was still watching him too.
But he's watching him, right? And and all those Lannister people with Lannister armor just getting
toasted,
horribly killed, violently.
Yes,
and you can see on his face, he's like, maybe this wasn't what I necessarily wanted.
Maybe.
And then you have, of course, just the Taylor. Back in the beginning of the episode, near the beginning. Daenerys comes out and says, hey, your plans haven't been going great, and it is your family that I'm up against. Yeah. What side are you on exactly? Yeah. Which I don't question his allegiance.
No.
But, I would be thinking it if I was in Daenerys' position. Like, Are we sure that everything is copacetic?
Well, and, his plan to, kill the people and jump into the castle, that was killing people.
It was killing people.
So there you go. He was killing people right there.
That was it was a nice little comedic beat. I always look for the comedic beats, I guess. But that where Tyrion and Varys walk up to Daenerys and are like, well, we took Casterly Rock. And she says, like, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? And then they don't say anything. There's just a beat where Varys and Tyrion look at each other like, and then cut to, I'm losing! So that was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, that was the recap of last week when she had that little scene. So they're like, last week we had this exchange.
So, all right. So, yes, let's break it down a little bit. So we open the episode with this wagon train. So we established the wagon train. And so it's a little confusing. The loot train. Because what it's, if you just watch the scene with the sound off, you would think Daenerys took out the gold and that the Iron Bank ain't getting paid. But no. Nope. They shoved in a line of dialogue right before the battle. By the way, all the gold is safely in King's Landing. Good. I'm going to leave now. So what you see is this wagon train, loot train. Tarly, Sam's dad, is saying, "Hey, we can't protect the back end of this train. As it's a long train." So maybe we should flog the men and get them moving so we can, And Jaime's like, maybe we could warn them first. These guys fought well. Let's give them a break. Of course, the break they get is getting incinerated by a dragon. Yeah. But so they've set up the premise that, okay, at the end of this train, there's going to be a long... So the front of the train could already be in King's Landing, which it is, at the time that the back of the train is still humping it across countryside.
Yes.
I don't know exactly where this takes place. Like, how far outside King's Landing was this attack? We don't see King's Landing in the distance or anything.
No, we don't.
So
we don't.
I'm thinking it's still a fair piece away.
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
To take that place there.
Now the other interesting thing about that opening scene is we see Jamie still upset, I believe, at the knowledge that Olenna killed Joffrey.
Yeah, that was my guess.
And he's not talking about it.
No, he's not talking about it.
And in fact, Bronn guesses. He's like, what did, Olenna say? Did she give you one final prick of her thorns before she died? And he doesn't
I missed that line.
He doesn't guess what it is, but he guesses that Olenna said something that upset him.
Yeah, okay.
And so he's like, but it's also interesting in that we see seeds of discontent with Bronn a bit, I think. Where Bronn's like, look, where's my castle?
You think Jamie's discontented with Bronn?
No, Bronn's discontented with his
situation.
I mean, he likes Jamie, and obviously he saves Jamie at the end of the episode.
Sure.
It's a cliffhanger, but not a cliffhanger. But we'll talk about that later.
Right.
But he's the one that knocks Jamie into the water to save him. So he's not like, hey, if I ain't getting paid, I'm out. But he talks about a castle. Jamie says, hey, the more we own, the more burdened we are, or something like that is what he says. So careful what you wish for.
I think it was his way of beginning to talk about what would happen after they, so...
He being...
Bronn, to sort of introduce the concept to Jamie of what happens after we do this. So I think that was really why I was talking about getting a castle. Sort of like, hey, do you think something great will happen when we're done? Or do you think it'll suck because your sister's in charge?
Right, and he does say, like, when Jamie says, hey, after we win,
you can have whatever you want.
He's like, oh, for as long as that peace lasts.
Yeah,
he's like, well,
right, exactly.
So, but then there's this thought where he gets this bag of coin,
yes,
and at the end he loses the bag of coin,
yes,
and he can't go back for it because he's being chased by Dothraki, and so he ends up not getting paid, basically, in some ways. Yeah. And he also, there's that
But, they got all that other gold.
They have it now.
It's all,
It's all safe.
It's all Mycroft's.
Yeah, it's all Mycroft homes. Another interesting point about Bronn and maybe being a little discontent was in that moment when Jamie and Bronn are, they're under assault, and Jamie says, go use Qyburn's Scorpion.
Yes.
The ballista.
Yeah, finally. Oh, yeah. Wait, let's first use the archers.
We predicted that would happen, and it came
Maybe
back.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't do it. Well, do you think we should use a scorpion?
So, maybe we should unpack that thing and use it. So, but Bronn is like, you do it. Like, he's not, okay, boss.
Yeah, no.
And Jamie's like, I have one hand.
Yeah.
Okay, go do it. And so that's what propels.
One of those one-handed, two-handed person ones.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Boom, get another one in there. Boom.
So there is a little bit of pushback, as I'm saying.
Yes,
Bronn isn't like, you know what? Yes, anything for the cause. He's like, nah.
Well, I'm
probably going to die at this, so you do it.
If he had said, well, it seemed kind of weird for him to do that, actually, since before he's like, you should get out of here.
Yeah.
He's like, he was concerned initially about it, and then he's like, oh, no, you should get out of here. Oh, okay, fine. So, he cared about him alternately. Off and on.
Yes, off and on.
Jamie.
So the other point of that, though, the other side of that is that maybe Jamie, that the comment that Jamie says where the more you own, the more burdened you are, or something like that.
Yes.
Maybe that's also Jamie thinking about his position. And that maybe, he's not real pleased with his scenario at this point. Like, hey, I'm kind of disillusioned with my sister, but I feel beholden to the family and what this all means. And so I feel like I have to do what I'm doing just out of duty. Mm-hmm. But, if I was Bronn, if I was in Bronn's place, I could kind of just go where I please and just do what I want.
Maybe.
And like maybe he's wishing maybe a little bit more about, I'd just rather be a
Well, I mean,
dude with a bag of money running off
to
somewhere.
bring that up again, he lost his daughter, the last of his family, it's like, so you could think he might be like, is this worth what's going on,
So I've got a little bit of it's not a theory so much as just, I think it's, I guess we'll call it a theory. We'll call it a theory. So it's just, so he's fallen into the water. By the way, logistically, that dude's dead because you fall in as much water as deep as that water is, because you see him falling for a while. It's not like, oh, it's 3 feet deep. Like he's falling for a ways in plate mail.
Yep.
Plate mail, especially wet. You're talking well over 100 pounds, maybe, I don't know, up to 200 pounds. It's a lot of weight. Anyway, he's an anchor. He is not buoyant in any way or shape or form. That armor takes multiple people to put on and take off, much less if you have one hand. Obviously, what they're going to do is have Bronn, he'll take his armor off, and then he'll come to the surface and be
obvious.
I believe that's what's going to happen. But
obvious.
So let's just say, point of the show, he'll be fine. But I think the act of taking the armor off and maybe escaping, he could be captured, but what is going to happen to him when he gets out, and he has to go undercover? Interestingly, well, I'm just saying, is he going to go into hiding? Is he going to race back to his men? I don't know. I mean, he could just race back to his men, but they're all captured. We see them captured in the trailer coming up. Spoilers. In the trailer for the next episode, all the men that are left are, basically Daenerys says, hey, here's your choice, bend the knee or you die.
Oh, yeah.
So those folks are captured. Is Jaime captured? I kind of feel like maybe he escapes and is like on the lam. That's maybe my...
Okay.
I don't know. But I'm just thinking maybe this is a turning point, like a rebirth for him.
I've said this to you before, and I'll say it here. That's just really bad work there. You have, it's like somebody's coming at you with a jousting, they're trying to kill you.
It looked a great scene, by the way.
And maybe your buddy, jumps, knocks you into the river, and you have to go down, and somebody has to save you. And once she pulls the thing out of her, maybe she gets up and flies off then. Maybe that's why she doesn't get him then. But, for...
You feel like she should be
what she can get from that is the same as what he would get from that, is take out the person who's in charge.
So you think maybe he is taking that?
Well, they pointedly didn't show us what he's doing in that episode.
I will say that they also do show a scene in the trailer of Cersei talking to Qyburn, and she says something like, whatever stands in our way, we'll defeat it, or something like that. Jaime isn't there.
Right.
No. You would think a scene where they're like planning strategy. If he was in King's Landing, he'd be there.
Right. I mean, and it'd be unfortunate if it's as close as Jaime and Tyrion have gotten in a long time. They weren't that close in the field, but now that he's nearly killed, conceivably he would be of value to.
Here's another thing about that moment. So, and I'm thinking that maybe this is like, for instance, symbolically taking the armor off to survive might be a kind of a metaphorical rebirth in some ways of Jaime. That, another thing that I think was on his face in the moment before he decides to charge and try to kill Daenerys. I don't think he's taking out the dragon. I think he's trying to kill Daenerys. He's like, look, that's we can end this war right here.
Of course.
Take out
Daenerys.
So I think it's part of it is looking around and seeing his countrymen in burning and in ashes. If you just think back, when he was the Kingslayer, it was because Dany's dad was threatening to wildfire the whole city, and so what he's seeing in some ways is the Targaryen kin doing exactly what he was trying to prevent years ago. And so I think there's almost like a PTSD moment of that coming about. I don't know PTSD, but like the horror, particularly resonant for him that this is what it's come to. Anyway, I'm just saying because anyway. That's a thing. So, I feel like there's going to be a profound change in Jaime's point of view when he comes out. I'm not saying he's going to be like...
I love puppies.
Yeah. I'm just saying he might be really disillusioned. I don't know. I think there will be a different Jaime, is my point. I think this is a vehicle for change for him. Like a character moment.
I mean,
as opposed to simply,
I think,
I have survived that dragon attack. All right, guys, let's go back and kill him again.
Maybe. I mean, I think he has more of an opportunity to do that if he's captured.
Okay.
So it's like now he has to think about his position and what's going on.
The only thing about being captured, too, that would be a little lame would be he was already captured before. And it seems like it's like, dude, that dude. Why can't that dude stay out of being captured? But no,
well, he's out, And
you're right. He's important. Like he's a target.
I mean, to me, anytime you have these situations where the general's out there on the field, and it's like, and the general lives. It's like, like why are they so special? Everybody else is running around and getting killed. I mean, okay, he can really fight and all that. Maybe they make an extra effort to have people around him fighting and saving him, but. They generally go out and battle people, So somebody could get lucky and kill the guy who's a general, and he's out there. Jamie could get killed. He's a great fighter. He was before he lost a hand, so...
Speaking of which, why isn't Dany wearing armor? Like, that seems like a giant miscalculation on her part. For instance, okay, so Drogon flies in, awesome scene, bruh. Archer's loose. Archers shoot, just bounces off them, and there's no big deal.
One of them could have hit her.
Yeah. Keep those archers shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to hit the dragon. You just got to hit the person on it because that's the freaking leader of the opposition who is completely I mean, she has a blockade in front of her, but, not from all sides. No. You could hit. One shot could end the whole thing. Sure. So I would just have kept them shoot as much as you can.
Well, armor doesn't really help you against arrows either, does it? I mean,
well, the right armor does. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just why that's why they created crossbows eventually, because crossbows could do a harder punch through armor. Okay. But yeah, she no helmet. I mean, no nothing. She's
no helmet.
She's completely exposed.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a dumb idea. Put it that way. I'll just say. Whatever. Anyway, she survived. Yeah. So good on her.
So yeah.
Drogon did get hit with this thing. Now, did the show take like a technological leap? Did the show suddenly become kind of steampunky almost? Where it was like, first Bran's like, oh yeah, the Maester just came up with a wheelchair for me. And like, that seemed like new technology a little bit. And then this weapon set that was like the Scorpion had its own case, and the case falls apart, and this thing is like I mean, it was like it just seemed like whatever they leaped forward.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wartime does that, I guess.
Yeah, fear of the dragon will make you go.
To their discredit, they made one.
Yes.
That was kind of maybe a problem.
That was, you'd think they'd have a bunch of them.
Your odds of success with one, not necessarily that great.
It makes me wonder if for the other battles they'll have a number of them and a number of people doing it. And then it's just become a matter of, could you get those things over there?
You would think, for instance, King's Landing is just going to have these on like all little tower tops.
Right.
So it's like tick, 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 tick. Much like in The Hobbit. Awesome movie that my friend... okay, Smaug... Of course he talks, but he's better. Okay, anyway. It was an awesome dragon. And all that. But no, this was cool. And the special effects, awesome. The strafing run when Drogon is just taking out all of the wagons. Man.
Yeah, that was good.
Now, but here's the deal. No gold. It was food. Basically. Yeah. Wagons of food.
Wagons of food.
They had established early on that they need the food.
Some of it might be edible, but probably for a very short time. Barbecue.
Okay, barbecue. Daenerys needed food for her troops.
Yeah.
It might have been nice to take that stuff instead of incinerating it. I'm not sure that she gets a lot out of this fight because, as you say, it was the end of a wagon train. So it's not even the majority of the Lannister forces. If she captures Jaime, obviously that would be a big deal. But if it's just, I roasted a few folks and I blew up the food that I might have been able to use myself, other than scaring the crap out of people and they're like, oh my God, she's got dragons.
Yeah.
Here's, that's the big. But in terms of like military win in numbers, I don't know that it's as huge a win without the gold. If it had been, we just got the gold, then it would have been gigantic.
They haven't had any, success so far.
Yeah.
So,
all right, well, let's talk about some other things. So we've got.
Believe it or not, there was other parts.
There was other parts, not really. No, it was just one thing. John and Daenerys go into the cave with the dragon glass.
Yes.
John shows her the cave drawings.
Yes, he does.
I'll say this too. There's a little. People are maybe a little too trusting in this episode. I mean, they're in both situations in which I'm about to say everybody's fine, but it's just so. One of them is this one where Daenerys leaves her guards,
yes,
and walks into a cave unarmed with Jon Snow. Like, I don't know if he'd wanted to be a jerk. Oh, your queen's dead. Oops. I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, if you're the most powerful person, maybe you'd bring a guard or two in there with you. Maybe you don't just go, you know what, I'll be back. Into this dark cave. You know, oh, it was an accident. Oh, there was a landslide and she's dead. Oh, well, I might as well be king, huh? What if no one else?
I feel like you killed, or no, you're saying an accident happened to our person who freed us. We don't actually feel like following you.
All right, just saying. The other moment was Bran sitting in a room with Littlefinger, and Littlefinger like, here's a dagger that I think you might like.
Again? Oh, an accident just happened.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
right into them.
Maybe put a guy in the room. Just have a guy in the room. You know, just somebody there to be like, you know, got it. Okay,
I mean, it's not like he went in there and like, oh, let's make sure he's got it. You know, and for all they know, he's a.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If I'm Bran, I'm like, maybe I bring it. Of course, if I'm Bran, I probably see everything. And it doesn't matter, so.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
okay. He's not going to kill me this time.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's that dagger that I remembered seeing you giving me earlier.
So back to the cave. So the cave drawings are actually very obviously impactful. I think Daenerys does believe, maybe. You know, a quick way for her to believe would just be to get on the damn dragon, fly north of the wall, go, oh, look, there's a bunch of guys down there. Got it. I believe you now. But whatever.
But she doesn't like to wear anything extra when she's on so she'd be very cold.
Good point. So I'm assuming what's going to happen is there's going to be like a Dragonstone Cave Painting Restoration Society that's going to show up and be like, guys, you can't dig here. This is historical stuff. I mean, come on. And then they're going to have to like go find another spot to dig. That's right.
Erect them up in the.
They have a museum. And that's how they'll pay for the troops. They'll be like, hey, we're going to get some tourism.
Yep.
So it's a cool scene. Daenerys and Jon again have, she says, hey, I believe you. I'll support you. Bend the knee. And he's like, nope, can't do it. Nope. She's like, what? Is it just your pride?
And then they cut.
Well,
apparently, maybe he says, yes, it's my pride.
Right. He maybe bent the knee. I don't think he bent the knee. But it is interesting because that's come up before.
Yeah, sure, bending the knee. She likes that bending the knee.
Well, not just her, but with
episode 2.
John. When John went as the emissary to Mance Rayder.
Oh, yes.
And he basically was like, your pride is keeping you from... And of course, Mance didn't bend the knee and got burned at the stake for it. Anyway, so he's seen examples of how not bending the knee and pride and what that means. He's caught. I mean, he's stuck.
Right about his people.
I agree too. If he bends the knee and then he comes back and goes, I bent the knee, they're gonna be like, we don't respect you at all anymore. Go away. He's got the respect of his people in mind as well as
And why she can't be like, can we revisit this once we disperse with Cersei?
Which maybe is what happened in some ways. Maybe that's the cut. It's like, can we talk about this later?
I feel like. Who knows what they said to each other.
She asked for his advice.
Whatever the resolution of that, I feel like maybe nothing was said. And she was still letting him.
They just stare at each other.
Because that's before she knew she was really losing.
Yeah, right, good point.
So she could still be magnanimous, like, hey, I let you have it, that's the previous clever plan.
So they come back out. She asked for his advice.
Yes.
And he says, hey, the fact that you've got these dragons means you can do impossible things. Your people see you as someone who is different, who can change the system. But if you just go and burn up a bunch of castles and villages, you're not changing the system.
No.
You're not any different. And so I guess she takes his advice because she's not attacking the town.
No, she's not.
She's attacking the soldiers, which is a very different thing.
It is very different.
From just collateral damage. She's not collateral damaging by hitting this loot train.
No.
Now, why she didn't necessarily just take all 3 dragons? Maybe torch them that way?
Well, that gave me the impression that somebody else needs to, you can't just be like, you go over there, you go, what?
I guess. Although I thought, didn't she have multiple dragons attacking in the harbor last season?
Did she? Maybe she did.
I could be wrong, but
maybe you're right.
I thought she did.
Maybe.
Anyway,
You're right.
but right, you might need more riders, which is obviously there's theories about who will be riding dragons, and I am of the belief that Jon Snow will eventually ride a dragon. I don't think it'll be this season. But yeah. Anyway, so the fact that she asked for his advice, though, is a big moment.
Sure.
Also, the fact that she was holding, I thought that she was holding a torch. She was the fire in the fire and ice scenario in the cave. I don't know. Anyway, just metaphorically. But we also have this. The moment is broken up by Theon's arrival. Jon sees Theon. Like, the only reason I'm not killing you is because what you did for Sansa. And then Theon's like, well, I was just here for to ask the Queen's help in rescuing Yara. So we do know that Yara is in Euron's possession. She is not in King's Landing.
No.
And that's when Jon's like, well, she's not here. She's flying towards the place to blow up the people. But what that does set up is, at some point, Theon is going to go on a rescue mission, methinks, to Pike.
Yeah, he says he's going to go, so...
To save his sister.
Somebody has to take on, Euron, so...
Yeah, so he's probably the unlikely hero to take on Euron.
Yeah, just a question of whether or not Yara makes it out.
Yeah. Then, of course, we have the Arya returns to Winterfell. She meets up with Sansa in the crypt, and they have their sisterly hello.
Yes, they do have their sisterly hello.
I guess back when Littlefinger gives the dagger, the assassination dagger, cat's paw dagger, to Bran, he's like, hey, it's great that you made it through all the stuff you got through. You've probably seen some weird things. Anyway, with all this chaos, and that's when Bran's like, chaos is a ladder.
Yes.
And, which is a line that Littlefinger gave to Varys.
Now, do you think he caught that?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it registered on his face. Littlefinger's like, what? And then just a knock at the door or something. And so, but yeah, I think the implication was, I've been seeing everything you do. And I think Littlefinger maybe got that idea. So then Arya returns. Bran gives the dagger to Arya. They have a reunion of their... Now, I did notice this. For as robotic as Bran is and continues to be, he did actually semi-hug Arya. As opposed, he didn't hug Sansa at all. I don't know if that means anything.
Yeah.
But when he arrives, he was like this. But with Arya, he's like, Anyway, so, whatever. But he gives her the dagger saying, look, I'm a cripple. I can't use this thing.
Yes.
Sansa is very concerned that Littlefinger gave the dagger to Bran.
Yes, he doesn't care.
And I think she's concerned. She's, hey, he wants something. What he wants, I think, is, if Bran's going to be the leader, let me try to get in good with him. Yeah. So here's a Valyrian dagger. Not only that, it's the one that started the battle of my armies, and it's the one that was almost killed you with. Here, Lord. He calls him Lord, and he's like, I'm not a Lord. I'm not a Lord. No. Here, Raven. So then there's the robot Bran talks to Mira. Mira, comes in and she's like, hey, I should probably get back to my folks before everything bad happens. It's like, all right. like, well, I mean, if you don't need me or anything, I don't need you. Okay, good. Thank you. And she's like, thank you. That's all you can say. All these people died for you, and I freaking dragged you, 100 miles through snow. She gets the kiss off. But she's like, you died in that cave, is what she says, and he's pretty much in agreement. He's like, yeah, Bran's in here somewhere, but he's part of a giant consciousness I have, and so I can't even really tell what's Bran and what isn't. he's he's transcended Branness. He's 2 scoops of Raisin Bran. So Bran is in there somewhere.
Yes.
But is not, he's kind of part of a larger consciousness now. Yes. And it's kind of tough to tell if he's just like neutral observer. The one thing I would say that maybe leans toward him not being a neutral observer is he knew everything about Arya pretty quickly.
Yes.
Like he'd been watching her specifically. Like, I saw you at the crossroads. I thought you were going to King's Landing. He knew where she was, but he knew why.
Right.
He's like, I thought you were going to King's Landing to deal with your list.
Yes.
And she's like, what? I was. I mean, like, so, like, he knew her intentions.
Yes.
He knew, so it wasn't just like he was just watching from afar. He was like,
well,
I'm in your brain,
When we say specifically, I think he's like, I don't know. I'm wondering if he's all knowing.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like he's all knowing. I'm just wondering if he's. I thought at first, until that moment, I thought he was just like an uncaring observer.
Right.
Almost. Like, I know things. I'm an encyclopedia, ask me. But now it's like...
Well, to me, the more decisive thing is him giving her the, dagger. I mean, it doesn't seem like it means nothing like, just because I'm a cripple, I don't want it. It might be more like, here, you should take this because it's going to figure permanently into something that's going to happen to you.
I think the odds are great that she's going to use that dagger to kill Littlefinger by the end of the season. I think that's a huge, huge, huge probability that that's going to happen. Narratively, it just kind of is a little tie back. Anyway, okay. But from the trailer again for next episode, I thought one of the maybe the most impactful moment to me was Jon in the trailer saying, Bran has.
Oh yes.
Bran says that Night King's on the move to Eastwatch.
Yes. Okay.
And he's and Jon is standing at the table at Dragonstone, so he's not at Winterfell.
Right.
So that means Jon has gotten a raven, I guess, or something to say, hey, Bran's back in town. He's alive, and he's back. And he can see everything.
Yeah.
And here's what he sees. Like, the fact that Jon is just repeating verbatim what Bran sees, that's a big moment to me. Like, how did he get convinced from hundreds of miles away that, yep, Bran does this. This is a thing he does now. So I don't know. That's interesting. It happens, obviously.
Yeah.
So Jon is convinced that Bran is a seer and has seen this information. Maybe it's just because the information coincides with what he believes anyway.
Yeah,
He's like, no crap. Anyway, so that's a pretty.
I might be able to use this nuts musings for my.
Right. No, Bran said it. I don't know what you're talking about, but just do what Bran said.
Lord.
So Arya then gets into a training sparring match with Brienne.
Yes.
Which is very cool to watch, and it's kind of a tie.
Yeah.
I mean, Arya wins early, so Arya is just using needle, and has the advantage of speed because she's not wearing armor. She's wearing just a leather.
Yep.
She's not wearing plate, and she's not having a big sword. She's got so she can kind of zip around, whereas Brienne is more kick you down, brute strength.
Yeah.
And so, but Arya is showing her abilities in front of Sansa and Littlefinger. Mm. And
Podrick.
And Podrick. And showing off to Brienne. She says, Brienne, you beat the Hound. That's why I want you to train me.
Yeah.
I don't care about other people. You. And so at the very end, she pulls the dagger, and then there's a moment. She's lefty. I noticed that.
Oh.
Whereas,
interesting.
And so she comes up, it's kind of dagger to throat while Brienne's got sword to face. But Littlefinger takes that in.
Yes.
And he sees that it's not only that, it's the dagger he just gave to Bran.
Ah.
That obviously his gift to Bran really didn't make the impact he hoped.
Right.
Oh, he just gave it away? Thanks.
Right.
So I think he's going to be looking instead. Now there's this, trained killer that's been brought into the midst. I think he's trying to find an angle there. And I wonder if Sansa's like, I have a trained killer that's my sister.
That's a big question. Yeah, exactly what's going on in her mind. She did not look happy when she walked away, and when when she fought, Brienne. She did not look happy to me.
I agree.
So I mean, a lot of people I think are saying that. Like, oh, darn it, I gotta use her as an assassin, apparently. And it's like, so...
I think she's gonna use her as her, like, executioner for Littlefinger, I think. But I don't know about then sending her off on missions or something, but I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if what she said about it is just, not wanting that for her sister,
She did say, like, who's on your list?
Yes.
And part of me thought maybe she's like, maybe some of the people I don't like are on that list. And then
you keep thinking like, oh, good, you're going to go off and kill. And I'm wondering if, and maybe you're right. A lot of people are saying that. And for me, I might be wondering, okay, look, let's let these other idiots fight. And let's just focus on not dying ourselves.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. No, I hear you.
I mean, I don't know how she feels. But to me, she doesn't look happy about the issue. Doesn't look happy. I don't think she's going to, I'd be surprised if she's like, okay, why don't you go kill... I think that's what Arya wants to do, and I think that'd be probably good for her to try to go to kill Cersei. But I don't know that that's what,
I think for the end of this season, at least, she's staying in
Sansa
Winterfell. I think for one thing, she wants to see Jon, and she's maybe hoping Jon comes back. I don't know. I think her events occur in Winterfell for the next 3 episodes.
Yeah, right. But I'm just wondering what Sansa's thinking. She might need to be convinced that it's good for Arya to be doing what she's doing.
And why do we think Arya... Was Arya just trying to impress Sansa? Like, why would she just... like, for instance, if you're an actual assassin, which she kind of is...
Yeah,
right?
she is.
Maybe you don't advertise, right?
I mean,
you're like, I'm just a...
Well, she can always put on somebody's face and go kill somebody. I mean,
But I mean, like, whatever. I don't know anything about killing people. Like,
well, that's why she's like, I'm out of practice. Yeah, okay, you're rusty. It's like a card sharp or something.
Yeah,
I'll let you win a couple of rounds, and then I'll take you out.
So, but no, that was a cool shot, and it's nice to have at least 3 of the Starks back in Winterfell.
Right, yes.
That we do hear that trailer from preseason when Sansa says something like, the long night comes or something. The pack survives, the lone wolf dies.
Oh.
She's got her pack kind of forming here. Littlefinger might be considered the lone wolf.
Right. I mean, I think it'd be cool if Brienne and Arya went off.
Oh, okay.
Nice little team.
Yeah. Had some killing adventures.
Sneak up. Take that.
They would be a tough team to take out for sure.
That's right.
So we did have Cersei talking to the Iron Bank, and there's the thought, hey, when you get your money, it's coming, it's on its way, which, as we now know, it arrived.
Yeah.
And so the Iron Bank's like, cool, awesome, right? Well, more ventures, and they mention this Golden Company, which I guess is from the books, and is like just a badass mercenary force that, I mean, the fact that they name dropped it, and Cersei even said, oh, we were thinking about using them. I assume they're going to bring in this mercenary force.
Yeah.
Probably not by the end of this season, but maybe that's a season 8 thing. But like a mercenary force to take out Daenerys or Jon or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, just keep that in mind when you hear the Golden Company. They're probably paid for by Cersei. That's my thought.
Yeah. So, I think that's the major stuff, I think.
Yeah, I think we've covered the major things. If you have any other major things or minor things you wanted to chat about, put them in the comments. We will comment back. And episode 5, I think, is going to be a setup for this giant episode 6. Episode 6, of course, the penultimate episode. That's where, I think in this case, it's going to be Jon going north of the wall. So I think we're going to meet up with some folks this time. I think we're going to go back to Sam. Sam's going to discover something at Citadel. Yeah. I think because they've been foreshadowing and some leaked trailer information stuff that Gendry shows up. I think Gendry shows up in the next episode.
Okay.
Maybe we see some more Theon stuff. Anyway, but there's going to be. I think it'll be less battle-y, more intriguey politically, is my guess. Hard to put it that way. So, and you know, obviously Daenerys and Jon, they are face to face a few times in the trailer, even. So,
Sure,
so
yeah.
there will be more
Yeah.
time for them. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Have a great week. We will be back next week with episode 5. Bye, everybody.